Greetings, my beloved Black people. Welcome to the plight and struggle of Black people in America. As you know, on Sundays, we have our Prominent Black People series. And that's interesting because this portion of the Prominent Black People series, we have a sister that created her own 3-week series. And I thought that was so innovative. And it was great to me. I like seeing it, and it helped me a lot. We had Ms. Jacqueline Shaw last week, and she talked about the gift of giving through bone marrow. And the test is so simple, and you can help people so simply. And you can look at that and review. And she's coming today with something even as significant, I'll say. And we'll bring Ms. Jacqueline Shaw, and she'll tell us all about it. Hey, how you doing?
Hello, how are you today?
I'm great, and yourself?
I am great. I am great and highly favored, blessed.
Mm.
So I'm honored to be on your show again today.
Well, you're blessing the show with your presence. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, we're fortunate to have you because, the information that you bring is so important, so significant, and known by very little. That's the unfortunate part, that the resources in some cases and different locations are available to the masses, but they don't have the knowledge of its existence. So they can't utilize it. So that's what you're doing, bringing information to help people, help ourselves, and help others.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And so true. What we talked about last week was phenomenal. Just being in the Black community, and I got so many inboxes and emails saying, I didn't know that, thank you for sharing with us. And, I didn't know it either until I went through the process. So again, that is my mission, to be able to tell any and everybody that will listen how important it is to be a stem cell donor.
And that's so amazing.
Yes. But on this note, I want to be able to tell people how important it is to get out and vote. That we need to get out and vote, and how we, as our organization, when I first met you and I was telling you about our organization and some of the things that we were doing over here in Denton and Collin County, was getting empowering women of color. And so we came up with going back just a little bit of just the different things that everyone, all the powerful women in my organization was doing. Everyone was doing their own thing, with all the death of Mr. George Floyd and so many others, and the protests that was going on in 2021, where it was my birthday weekend. And I went to Oklahoma, where I'm from, to celebrate my birthday and with my sister, which was born on my birthday. And our girls decided they wanted to go horseback riding. So that's what we did. And that was a long weekend. So Sunday, my time was to come home and relax on Monday, which was my birthday. But as we're passing down 2499, there was a Black Lives protest that was going on here in Flower Mound. And I'm like, okay, there's something wrong with this problem, because there's no Black people out there. And so I came home, changed my clothes, and my daughter made me signs, different signs. And I, I'm calling my friends and saying, hey, this is going on in Flower Mound, come on. So, about 10 other women and men showed up to participate in this protest. And as we're leaving, they said, oh, we're going to do this again tomorrow. Can you put the word out? And I said, sure. So, I called my pastor and I said, Pastor, this is what we're doing. How can I get the word out to my congregation? And he said, well, call my assistant, Brother Jude. And so that's what I did. And I said, can you send an email? He said, well, I can send a text message at, 6:45 in the morning, because that's going to reach people. And that's what we did. We sent out a text message. I called everybody and sent them a mass, any organization I've been with, all the churches. And we sent out a text message, and we started at 10 in the morning to 6 p.m. At all times, there was always over 200 people on that corner protesting Black Lives Matter, all ages. It was phenomenal. There was a lady that came out that her caretaker brought her out, and she was 89 years old. And she said she didn't think she would ever see anything like that in Flower Mound. And she wanted to be a part of it. And
that was a Black lady?
She was a Black lady. Yes, she was. And she came out of Denton.
Okay.
But people came from all around to be a part of, what we were doing.
Right.
And with that going on, people were, and communities, people that couldn't stand out there with us, they bought pizza to feed the crowd. They bought donuts. They bought coffee, water. I mean, cases and cases of water. People just say, we're so glad of what you're doing. I got to go to work. I can't be here, but I want to contribute to this. And that's what, and popsicles, they would just come out and bring popsicles. And, because it was 103 outside. Yeah. And, it was phenomenal, but so many people were coming up. At that time, I was the social justice minister lead at Westside Baptist Church. And people would come up and say, what can we do to help? They're frustrated, they're scared. We're losing our Black men, and people are just scared and frustrated. And I'm, my response to them is, in order to make a difference, we got to get to the polls and we got to go vote. You got to go vote. Every vote counts. Every vote makes a difference. And people, they don't see that as going to vote, how it will make a difference from them. But every vote counts. I mean, and people think on a large, they want to go out and they want to vote for the presidential and the governor, but we need people to go out and vote on those elections as well. But come out and vote for your local election, your mayor, your school board, your city council, all of those things. Those are what matters. Those are where your tax dollars are going. Those are the people you want to go vote for, and you want to know, where they stand at, what their platform is, what do they plan on doing with your tax dollars. Are they going to build a $6 million tennis equipment place, or are they going to build a youth for our young children to have somewhere to go after school and to have a summer program.
Right.
And with that all being said, and I had just released a book, and I had all these plans with different things, speaking engagements and book signings and with the heaviness on everyone's heart, I asked God, what do you want me to do? And he said, get my people to the polls. Okay. So I set out in every way I could to ensure that everyone would be able to vote. And as I'm telling, friends and other leaders from different churches, what my plan is, there was other Black women in my community that was doing something different, but we were all trying to get the same outcome.
Right.
And so a friend of mine's, Jocelyn McMurray, she brought us all together out on the patio, out on her back patio, and said, all you ladies are doing, and we didn't know each other. And all these ladies, were doing something, but we were doing different things. And if we could come together, we could make a bigger impact. So that's how we started. And we were with Crystal Bates, which is the NAACP DFW Metro president. Okay. She formed we came up with a plan. Joan Douglas, she came up with this plan that the Dallas Democrats had got in touch with her and told her about these door markers, these door hangers that has detached voter registration cards on them. So, and they would send them to us for free, to all the counties, wherever we wanted them to go. And so, we took place in that, and we said, okay, well, what is our plan? And then one of the other ladies, she formed a apartment complex list of all the apartments that we needed to go to put these hangers on these doors. So we ended up, we did that, and Crystal Bates did this wonderful protest to the polls poster for us with the QR code, where volunteers could sign up and come out, and within 3 weeks we had put this plan together. Well, within a night, the next morning everything was together and we were ready to go. Right. So we put this plan together, and within 3 weeks we hit Dallas, Tarrant County, and Dallas, Callan County, and Denton County, and we had over 500. We had over 500 volunteers that came out, and the Divine Nine came out, and they would take a complex, and we would give a list and say, these are the doors to go, because we had a list of the Democrats. And we only put them on the Democrats' doors. These are the people that are Democrats. This is what we need you to do. And they came out. We got out in 3 weeks over 4,000 door hangers in all these counties. So we would like to think that we made a tremendous difference in the presidential election, because nobody was coming out. And so with that, with everything that we were all doing, another friend of ours, Hazel Weathers, came together, and she said, I know these ladies over in Collin County that are doing some tremendous things. And I think if we all came together as women of color, we can make a bigger impact and go all the way through the Metroplex. So that was, and we're like, okay, everybody's busy doing their own thing, but she had to, bring us together. And these women were, as I said, this is how the board of our organization came about, right. Empowering women of color. And, several of these ladies had already ran for office. And what we were finding in the organizations that we were in, we all had so much in common. We were all precinct chairs for, our counties, and just trying to get people out to vote and make it better for our community, doing the work in the community to make it better for people that did not have. Right. So we got together. She brought us together, and we did for 6 months of how we wanted this organization to look like, and who we were going to support and how we were going to support. So all the logistics in there, and making sure, we're within the legal realm of everything that takes place with, to be able to give money to a candidate, right. And who are we going to give money to? So, so we came up with that, and in 2022, we launched our campaign, or our event, our first Empower Women of Color, and we had a panel of some tremendous women during the election time that was running for office. Several of those women are in office now. Okay. We did do, and one of those phenomenal women is Jasmine Crockett. She was one that we endorsed and got behind. So we were very pleased and happy, and of course, we did the happy dance. Which
particular one won that race in Grand Prairie?
So in Grand Prairie, that was Betsy Adams. So now she's Councilwoman Betsy Adams, and that's one of the things. Betsy and I go back 25 years of friendship. Okay. She ran against an incumbent of 10 years. 10 years.
Did you say that was an at-large council seat?
That is an at-large council seat that she won, and she is the first woman of color to ever win an at-large council seat.
Now, I have a feeling some people don't really know what that is. Let me tell you what I think it is. Let me know if I'm right. Okay. From what I understand, you have city council seats, and generally they represent a district which is normally a community or a neighborhood. Okay.
Right.
But when you say an at-large city council seat, if I'm not mistaken, that means everyone in the entire city get to vote for that person in that seat. So that seat really is a citywide seat in essence.
Yes. Well, that is so true, what you're saying. But the unique part about Grand Prairie is that I learned her seat covers 3 counties. So you got Dallas County, you got Tarrant County, and you got a little portion of Ellis County. So you need all of those people to come out and vote.
Right.
And she won by Dallas County. She won. I mean, Dallas County really came out to help with her, and she ran a grassroots. I mean, she didn't have money, donating. She saw where work needed to be done in the community. Mm-hmm. And she's one of those that, okay, I'm going to do this and make it better for the people in my community. And that's what she did. As I said, she ran against a 10-year incumbent. When she ran the first race against him, it was 3 of them that ran. She came out best, so they went into a runoff. Okay. So they went into a runoff. As I said, Miss Adams, she had so many people behind her. When I saw she was in a runoff, I reached out to her to say, hey, what my organization was and how can we help you? And she said, any help you can give. She said, I'm reaching out to any and everybody. And I'm like, hey, do you know Deborah Peoples over in Fort Worth? Because you need her. She was a priest. She was the chair of Tarrant County Democrats for 10 years. So she knows that area like the back of her hand. And Miss Peoples just ran for mayor, and she didn't win, but she gave that mayor a run for her money. Miss Peoples know her stuff.
For what city did she run for?
So she ran for Fort Worth, mayor of Fort Worth.
Okay.
Yeah, she was out there. She was out there that the mayor that's in place now. Of course, she called on Governor Abbott and that's a whole nother story.
Bring out the dollars.
Listen, I wasn't gonna go there on that one.
Yeah, but that's amazing that the sister won that Grand Prairie race, because that's when you was going to say something unique about Grand Prairie. I thought you were going to say it's unique that Grand Prairie is a city that has a portion in Dallas County as well as Tarrant County, because I was surprised when I found that out.
Yeah. But and then to find out, but that goes with all that redistrict, and then to find out you got a portion of Ellis County. Now get this, and how important, going back to how important it is for people to get out and vote. Mm-hmm. So in Ellis County, 9 people voted in the runoff election. 5 people voted for the incumbent. 4 people voted for Councilwoman Adams.
And surely more people than that were registered eligible voters, no doubt.
Yeah, yes. But here's the thing Also, going back to all votes count. Councilwoman Bessie Adams, she won total by 64 votes. By 64 votes. So if that don't tell people to get out and cast your vote, I mean, come on.
Because so many times you'll see during various races that 37% of the eligible voters voted. So look at how many eligible voters are not voting. That's ridiculous in those percentages.
It is. And when you talk about a local race for mayor, school board, city council, only 8% of people that are registered to vote come out to vote for that race.
That's ridiculous numbers. That's a ridiculous number, 8%.
That is. And so, with the women of color, we make it a point to educate people. So we make it a point to go to all the debates in our area. to say, okay, this is what this person stands for. This is what this person stands for. And, and when you get into a debate, people will go back and tell you, uh, I got into to education because I was in, another part, and I walked into apartments where were single mothers, and there was no children, but I wanted to take place in this and this. I'm like, but me being who I am, my question is, okay, but if you did that and now you were assistant principal and you did all these things in these Title I schools, but for the last 4 years, you in real estate, but now you want to come back and run for school board? So please explain that to me. How are you for the babies if you're not in the school with these babies?
Right.
So, and when that question has been asked, then, they kind of be quiet. But it's like, look, you can't tell me what I know.
Right.
You can't tell me what I know. You can't say that I'm for the babies, but you over here in real estate.
See, and that's the thing I've noticed a lot of. Okay, you have people who are for these certain things and against these same certain things. It seems like the things that are not preferred to be embraced by the masses, those people defend their stuff. Us, a lot of us that are for the good, many of us won't defend and won't stand up against the ugly. You can't beat evil if you don't contest it and fight it. You see? And most of the so-called good, they be quiet instead of being verbal and aggressive as well as your person that's your opponent per se.
Right.
And it's kind of like, to me, the way so many times I've heard different people say with these racist Caucasians that have done so many things, that for the Caucasians that don't intervene, even though they're not participating, it's like they're just as guilty. Okay.
Right.
In some way, they say. Well, but what about us black people that see us black people doing horrible things, but we don't say anything against our black people that hurt black people? Only when somebody Caucasian hurt black people, we speak up and speak out. We've got to change that, and we've got to monitor ourselves, and not that we're trying to tell people what they can and can't do, but there's a right and wrong thing to do. So people need to know more of the right and better things for us collectively as a people.
As a people.
So us that know about righteousness, we got to speak up and speak out too. Right. Like this one simple example, say the N-word, for instance. Blacks that do use it, they speak up and challenge you that think we shouldn't. Us that don't use it, which I don't use it, most of us won't speak up and speak out. And that needs to change. I just believe that.
Yeah. And you're right. There's there is good people, and then there is bad people in
every group.
And in every group. But the thing is, with our organization and the Empowering Women, we have some phenomenal women that are sitting in office today and that are running for office today. Right. And with we just had in April, we just had our anniversary, and we did another right before the election, school board and mayor and all that good stuff election. So, and just quickly going back to Grand Prairie, Grand Prairie right now, they have 4 African Americans that sit on city council. That's the first time that it ever happened in history.
4 out of how many?
4, I think it's 4 out of 9.
Okay, that's a great.
But the rest of them, I think, I'm not sure. But I need some. There's at least 3 other ones that are people of color, but I don't know what the race is.
Right. So, to your knowledge, what is the population of Grand Prairie's black population? Do you know the percentage?
I do not know that.
Okay.
I do not know that. And and as I said, when I spoke with my friend Miss Adams, I said, how can we do, what are you doing over there? And she said, she could get the I said, can you get me the people that voted for you, can you get me, their numbers, and then we can have people over here in Denton and in Collin County to call. Mm-hmm. And so all the people that was Democrats that voted, in her election, she sent us the list, and I sent it out to, to our group. Mm-hmm. And, we had some phenomenal women. I had Penny Mallett, which was, I think she was in Houston. She made phone calls from Houston to Grand Prairie.
Oh, yeah.
To anybody that would
take care of business.
Yeah, yes. And then Barbara Rucker, another good friend of mine. She's the former president for the Black Denton County Coalition. Mm-hmm. She was in Oklahoma, and I said, look, this is what I need from you. And she said, okay, well, send me a list and I'll get my family members to call too. So, right. Our women of color, we send it down, to people, throughout our organization, and people were happy to make phone calls, and right. That's how we, and sometimes the rule of thumb is people need to hear something 3 times before to click and they'll go do it. So if we can touch someone from our homes over here in Denton County and touch Dallas County, mm-hmm. and that's our goal as a people in general, is to be able to educate our people and let them know that, hey, there's an election and it's very important for you to go out and vote. And you have a qualified African-American woman, Latino woman, whatever, whoever the case may be, that is for the people, and they want the right thing for your community.
That's correct.
And so they're happy to go out and vote when you say that. But, that's one of the things is and calling everyone to say, for me, I called all the churches that I knew, church leads over in Dallas, Friendship West, Social mm-hmm. Justice Ministry. I mean, I know all the social justice ministry leads in different churches. Right. I'm like, look, I need you to do this. And then even Councilman Casey Thomas, I'm like, hey, did you know? He said, well, I didn't know till you told me. I said, well, I'm glad I called you. What you gonna do? He said, I got you. So he's I don't remember what he does. He's does something with the NAACP over in Dallas, and he put the call out. He reached out to Miss Adams, and he really I
think he was the president at that time before city council, I believe. Yeah.
He was, he just finished up his term of 4 years for city council for Dallas.
Yeah, whatever the term limits are, you got to step down one time.
Right. So, but he was, he's always been very supportive in what's going on over here in Denton County.
Oh, so, I'm glad to know that, because I know him from back when he was working at A. Maceo Smith in Oak Cliff and teaching special ed. I volunteered in his class. I did a lot of volunteering.
Oh, really? Really?
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah. He's a good guy. He graduated from UNT, and so he still has a hand in voting over here. And okay. Hey, well, he'll reach out and say, well, what's the population? How many voted over there on election day? I'm like, okay.
Well, that's good. It like that. That's good.
Yeah, but he's good. He keeps people on their toes. So, good guy. Yeah.
Nice seeing you again and having you again. And I know you're getting ready for next week's episode, which is going to be so different, but yet as important and significant.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is so. It is so important, and we will speak on the historical Black cemetery over here in Louisville. So I'm excited about that. It's a work in progress, but it has brought our community together to work on this project. Not just African Americans, but it has brought churches and organizations together to beautify this cemetery. So I'm very excited to be able to talk about that.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I get more giddy on that one than I get on anything else. But I'm very excited to talk about that. But again, thank you for allowing me to come on your show and talk about my passions.
And they're important passions that the people need to know about and participate in. So
Yes.
I'm doing it for all of us because it's needed and necessary. And
Yes. Yes.
people like you and I, we need to be able to do something to try to help others. I know I do. I need some kind of way to at least try to help somebody. And I can
Yes.
tell you do too.
Yeah. And and the thing about, before we go, the thing about educating people on voting, I have so many people, well, my whole organization have so many people, because they know we are keeping up with what's going on in Congress, and in and they'll always say, when people are voting for local elections, well, who are we voting for?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to know why they voting for it. They just want to know who we voting for. So I have an email of over 500 people that I send out. These are the people that I support.
Mm-hmm.
These are the websites of everyone. You can go on it, and they all say, stop sending me these websites. Who we voting for? So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they're
So
like, okay, y'all the headmasters, make decisions, and we'll get on it.
so who we vote? I mean, people don't have time to sit and read about every. Now, some people do. They do want to do that. You do have people that do want to do that, but for those that don't, I just send out a email and say, these are the top ones for this position that I support, and but you do the research for yourself. We always make sure these are the people that we support, but you do the research for yourself so you can be informed. So that's the most important, because I don't want somebody to saying, well, I voted for such and such and you told me to. No, this is who I support.
Right.
What you do with it is on you.
Yeah, and they can do the research.
So it's kind of like the doors of the church is, it's ours to offer and yours to accept or reject.
Absolutely. And I want you to come back anytime you want to.
You know what? Hey, all these women that I talked about, these are some phenomenal women that you would want to have on your show.
We can hold up to 10 spaces. That'll be you and 8 others. So we got 10 slots, and it would be great if you can bring and introduce some of your people that the community
absolutely.
will see. Yeah,
absolutely. But the women that I'm talking about, Miss Betsy Adams, Deborah Peoples. I mean, these are some phenomenal women. And one of the things, and I know we said we were going to jump off here at a certain time, but for the history of Denton County, we have our first Democrat chair, which is a Black woman, the first Black woman in history to be over the Denton Democrats, and her name is Delia Parker Mims. She's a lawyer. I mean, we're breaking history barriers over here.
Oh yeah, that's what's going on.
In Collin County, they have their first Black woman, Sheena Kings, and all these ladies are phenomenal women. They are phenomenal, and
great example for our children to see.
Yeah, and that's the most important for our kids to look and be able to see someone that looks like them.
Right. So we got to bring our children to these places and formats. I don't see people reaching out to children hardly ever unless they just love children. Sadly, probably because they can't vote and they don't have money. So a lot of people don't have an interest in children because they can't get anything from them. And that's
well, over here in Denton County, we do it a little different. We go into the schools, in which that would be another episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
African American parents is that group, and we get the Divine Nine. One thing I love my Divine Nine, because that's what they do is they serve. Our brothers and sisters, our Divine Nine, our historical, they serve. And they love the kids. What time do you need me to be there? How can I do this?
Right.
And we have some phenomenal people serving our children over here in our.
I like to visit that situation sometime. I like to get involved in some of that.
Yeah. So and I know you do the mentoring, but we have some engineers that I need to introduce you to that love to go out
and meet them too.
serve children. So I mean, God has blessed me to be in a room with some amazing people.
That's
And
great.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
I did share with you about the field trip to the farm, didn't I? It's coming
You
up
did.
soon. Okay, great,
And I'm
great.
gonna try my best. As I said, I have another event on that day, but I can get out there for a good 2 hours first thing in the morning.
That'd be great. That'd be
So
great.
I wanna come out and support, and I wanna, see what you're telling me about.
Oh yeah, it's great. Just for Dallas sites, it's an hour and 10 minutes outside of the city, and that's nothing.
Right,
You're in a
right.
whole
And
different
it,
world.
and
Mhm.
I'm a country girl, so sometimes that may be the only chickens that they see running around,
Yeah,
in it.
this brother's
Yeah,
like 315 acres. Black man, black owned, completely paid for. No mortgage.
hey, I love it. I
Absolutely.
love it.
Yeah. And as we know, black people are doing a lot better, a lot more than what this media portrays us all the time. So it's sad that those that don't know better, they don't believe better. And I hate
Mhm.
that because we are doing much better than what they display of us collectively as a people. And that's
Yeah.
unfortunate that your own nation don't even love you.
Well,
That's
well, and that's why you have a podcast so we can tell people.
and try to make a difference. They put in the work and hope
We,
for the best.
yeah. Hey, everybody got to do their part,
There you go.
and you're doing yours.
That's what we're doing. So thanks again, and you have a great day and a great evening.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Absolutely.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. The plight and struggle of black people in America. One thing about black people in America, unfortunately, we've been slowed down quite a bit, and we can and will be, I'm sure, slowed down some more. But the great part is we cannot and we will not ever be stopped. Not us, not black people.